Alright guys, welcome to my take on the DFA rankings of 2021. This will cover the top players of 2021, not just active players right now. So don't confuse this with the current ranking of November, but the whole year. So this means that players who played at the start of the year will also be included. And this will all be my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me on some placings, but I hope and think a lot of people will agree with the overall trends. So let me just remind you that there has never been a list created that people haven't clowned upon and called shit. So I'll try to do my best to make this ranking as correct as possible, coming from a relatively unbiased view and with good experience. And a fair criticism of my rankings is that some people may have progressed throughout the year and some people may have regressed. And it's a challenge not being blinded by only viewing the newer or older version and not the real prime. So I will do my rankings in groupings rather than individual numbers. I feel like this can be more accurate, as the difference between, let's say, player rank 4 and 5 might be much larger than the distance between 5 and 6. And having groups can make this difference much more clear. So the people within a group is more comparable to each other, and there is a distinct difference in skill between the groups. I will also rank the players within the groups from best on the left to the worst on the right. And lastly, please don't take this as disrespect if you aren't placed on this list or if you feel your ranking is lower than you should be. There are probably people who should be on here and aren't, but I tried my best to include people. I will include some honorable mentions listed below, and the reason for them not placing can be many things, including me being unsure of their skill level, such as Reed and Saro, or them not being a quote-unquote DFA player, but mainly play other strats, such as Willard and These Nuts, or if I'm unsure if they played in 2021, such as IRE and Photon. I do want to give a special shout out to my dog and homie, Ryan Mihalik, who have made some very nice progress in DFA over the last month, which I hope I contributed to with constantly asking him to play it. I'm sure if BTD2 wasn't released at the end of the year, he would have been one of the best active DFA players the way that he is progressing right now. And as of right now, he is definitely deserving a spot, but I chose to exclude him of how bad he was just a short time ago. So Ryan and Willard were the two I was most unsure about including or not. Anyways, let's get into it and see tier 10. Okay, so at tier 10, I do want to start with a meme, Brian Chess and his army of spolts. I'm sure we have all seen the screenshots of him spamming 6 top spolts on round 15. No, I'm just joking. But for real, let's get into it. Okay, so to the real list, I do start off with probably my biggest bias in the whole list, Rob's in 9th. He could probably be in 8th, to be honest. So he's the best of this crew, in my opinion. When he came back and brutally lost to absolutely everyone except Arne, I think. Except, of course, when he won against Ryan Mihalik 3 or 4 times, 3-3 each time. That was pretty funny. Arne, I'm not gonna lie, I am probably a bit biased on this as well, of me playing him a lot at the start of the year, and him and Chris Langan, and just toying with them, beating them very much so at the start of the year, and they both supposedly have gotten a lot better. But I still have played Chris a few times in arenas and seen him play others, and he's still not as good as I thought both of them would be when people say that they have improved a lot. But yeah, both of those guys I'm pretty blinded by, having played them a long time ago this year. Crybaby and HLMC. Yeah, not really anything to say there. Okay players, but they don't really deserve anything higher than this, in my opinion. So for tier 8, I do have several OGs, if you want. Least Team and Gold Rush, at least. Yeah, probably Lucas and Basil also have been around for quite a while. Lee's passive BIA playstyle isn't doing him very good right here. But yeah, good players. Not really too much to say here. Good players. Okay, so tier 7 is unintentionally this became the YouTuber section, although I generally think a lot of these are pretty similar in terms of pure DFA skills. I know zigzagpower on his day is really good, can beat anyone, but it doesn't happen that often. And probably same with asiansensation, not gonna lie, like on his day he can beat top guys, but then he would choke like a bunch to massive noobs. Pewd, well, he quit a long time ago, but he got into it. But I still think that he's affected by his grinding play style in his DFA play, which doesn't really go all that well together. Bolt Boomer, yeah, he's your guy, but DFA, yeah, he's still good. Kevin, he's actually good. I do respect him. He could probably a bit higher, but yeah, I did play him in the GPO tourney. I think it was a 3-0 for me. I'm not sure, but he's a good player, really good guy. I respect him, and same with Ace. Yeah, Troll. He is sort of the same as Elise Team, a passive BIA guy, not really a DFA player either, as we all know, heli player. But yeah, he got in here and pretty high too, but not a good DFA player. So yeah, I hope this has been okay so far. Let me know if you disagree or agree with something so far, and let's move on to tier 6. Okay, so now I would say there's a pretty distinct difference from tier 6 to tier 7 in my opinion. Chief's Prodigy, aka CP, which we can't say apparently. Really good guy. I was so close to pushing up to high tier 5 based on maybe his reputation and stuff like that. But not gonna lie, in the BTD World Cup, he was on my team and he lost both games, which made us crash and burn out of the tournament, sadly. So yeah, if he had done better then he probably would have gone up level, but yeah, he leads this group. Zira is tricky because some people would call him T25, T20 right now, and right now a lot of people have quit, so that's not really good. I've played him before, like in spring, he beat me 3-1 or something like that, I'm not sure. I beat him now 3-0, uploaded that on my YouTube, same with S2 Artem. Yeah, good, but doesn't quite go up there in my opinion. Ninja, yes, okay, this is an interesting one. He, the notorious grinder, non-stop sweated, hard sweated DFA, mainly on offside, for a whole week straight. Like played hours and hours of offside DFA a day, became really fucking good, and then just quit. So his prime was up there, but yeah, interesting case. Dave, all-round good player. Same with Dua Lipa. Skiku is interesting too. I was definitely a lot better than him like a few months ago, also in the spring, but I've played him a few times lately and he has beat me sometimes. I beat him too with my brutal dart boat on Waddle. But yeah, no, he's a good player, and I think he could probably be a bit higher, but I landed on here because of reasons. He has lost to a lot of people, and he's not that good, but he has done well against me, at least when we played a series a few weeks ago or something. Prideful, probably his friends, which we will see in the higher tiers, like who is that? Ian, AFG, Sinful, guys like that, would probably rate him a lot higher. I don't. I played him. He played horrible, boosted to whites round 11, on Dread, and died round 13. I've also played him a few other times and won. And I know that he tried to win because me and him have been shit-talking each other the whole week. And he was definitely trying to beat me so he can trash-talk me even more. And he is also, he's doing the thing that A-Dogs do, that he will use a weird dart spot as a starting dart spot. And then that would excuse him from losing. He would like say, obviously I wasn't trying, I was memeing, just look at my start. It's so annoying when people do that. Like, bro, you can't just play slightly different and get a free pass for losing. No, doesn't work that way, no. No Monies, he made it out of the YouTuber group in the last tier. I think he's better than all of those. He is definitely not a DFA player. He is very versatile, uses a lot of meme strats, which I love.
But yeah, his game understanding and DFA is alright, and better than those. So, and he's been playing it a bit more lately, the last few months, I would say. So kudos to him, good guy. All right, tier 5. Now we're getting into even deeper waters. Melon Doggo leading the pack. He is what many people would probably call underrated, but still a lot of people don't have him that high. He's very prone to chokes. I barely played him, and he quit earlier in the year. But yeah, he's a good player, no doubt. But the same as Spartle, I would say, both were better before 2021. Spartle had his prime years ago and was really good and has just regressed since. He's not the dominant force he was back then. Kuro, Kuro is great on 3 maps and that's it. Dave probably placed a bit high, but he's a decent player with very good micro. Horrible personality, but this is a DFA list, so yeah, good player. Icy, it was a true force earlier on in the year, but has since quit, and I think he also got a bit worse as the year progressed. He barely plays anymore, but he does well for himself. Very nice guy, and I like the guy. Brogel is interesting. He is not the most loud guy. Same could be said about DNA for that, sir. But Brogel, everyone knows that guy, and really good player. He joins like tourneys, YouTuber tourneys, and he's always the wild card. Like he would come up with his amazing chief-like ace micro, and he will just win. But he's not that competitive and not that consistent, I would say. But he's been around for a long time, consistently good, just over the years, but not from match to match, if that makes sense. But yeah, good guy. Hoopin. What should I say about Hoopin? Great micro, of course. I played him and in a tryhard tourney GPO 3-1'd him when he he went dartling bomb against me on offside as the starting map and died round 16, I think. But he's a good guy, good player. You can see Tilted Earls, aka Tim's video of him doing an amazing job on Dread 2k eco round 22 fac. So he knows what he's doing really, but he's kind of inconsistent, I would say, and doesn't really try hard that much either, and it's kind of fallen off to DNA. Solid player. Same with Zoro, just not that prominent in the com, I would say, but everyone respects them, and yeah, great players. Okay, tier 4. Leading the pack is Tim, aka Tilted Earl on YouTube. He's leading because he has amazing micro and game knowledgement. That's his main strength, no doubt. Falling just shy of tier 3 is really close, but he's falling just shy because he chokes a shit ton. I think Tim will agree with that statement. It's sad because he's really good guy, but yeah, he chokes a lot, so that's his downfall. I place myself at this point trying to be as objective as I can, and this is based on other people's opinion and ranking of me, as well as my results in series against players, and my own viewing of how I compare with people below me or above me in game. And the 2 heavy comp tourneys I played in so far, GPO and the World Cup, I 3-1'd Hoopin, 3-0'd Kevin Gaming, 2-0'd AceMag, and lost 2-1 to Tilted in the World Cup. In private series, I have positive win rates against guys like AFG, Ian Alexander, Tiny's Ugly, Dav, S2 Artem, Icy, and more. I'd say my strength is effective rushes and my weakness is my GC micro, but I still think this ranking is pretty fair. Someone might have me just a bit lower, just a bit higher, but this is my opinion. So iSmile is interesting because he just came back from a long break. I do remember him from years ago, but I haven't seen a lot about him this year, not gonna lie. And I can't really describe his DFA currently. I haven't played him, would love to do so. And I've seen photos of him outplaying and beating Dav and Simba, I think. So I place him mostly here out of reputation and those screenshots. And I've also asked a few people about him and where he would compare to other guys. And this seems to be a fair placing. Jesus, solid DFA player, but his main game is Cobra, I would say. But yeah, good player. Tiny is ugly. Some people would have him higher. I sort of disagree with that. I have played him in a series and beat him 4-2, I'm not sure, and that was at a point where I wasn't really that good. I think it was early spring, but yeah, good player, and he deserves tier 3 in my opinion. Dav, the CEO of pointless flexing of outplaying by 20 eco and a spike, but I choked. Yeah, good guy. He's definitely the guy who probably outplayed but still loses, if that makes sense. Sol, asshole of a guy, but still good player. S2, he's gotten better throughout the year, and I'm still better than him, but he's still a top player right now of the active players, and he has increased. He is also, just like Dav, S2 is also a notorious white spammer, and I outplayed, bro, I just choked, whatever. So on to tier 2, and that's where it's really getting advanced DFA skills. Okay, so sorry, not tier 2, but tier 3, let's go. So this pack is led by Tilted, which I think is absolutely fair in my opinion. He has been a consistent force in the DFA community and what have you for many years, but also this year he's showing up when you need him. He doesn't play a lot, he doesn't make too much of a noise, but he is a solid player, game knowledge, game experience, and also good micro, I think. And yeah, he beat me in the World Cup 2-1. Just a solid player, and really good and respectful guy also. So respect to him. So Ian's placing. This one is kind of difficult because earlier on in the year I played with him a lot in the No Money server, like me, him, Kriegerish, S2 and guys like that. I would generally beat him most of the times, at least in DFA. He was pretty good at NFE though. But he has been, since then, he joined the crew we will see in the next tier of like AFG, Sinful, guys like that, and he played a lot with them, and he improved. AFG, he can't speak more nice of Ian about how much he improved, so that's why I listed him that much in front of me. But to be fair, I have played him lately, and not just lately, but after his supposed immense improvement, and I still beat him. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there, but I do place him this high because yeah, I do believe the other guy saying that he's been a lot better. But to be honest, it started with me and AFG and maybe a couple of others going as a joke, hey, Ian is T5 DFA, and Ian would be so mad about it because people would believe it, and then Ian felt like pressure or something that, okay, I'm not that guy, I'm not cocky saying myself I'm T5 or something like that, because he wasn't close to T5 when he started joking about it. But honestly, at this point, active DFA players, he could probably, he's the T5 right now. T1 according to FG, of course. But yeah, good player. Sheep, I've barely played Sheep, but I've seen him play many times before, and solid player. Keon, I've played before. He beat me pretty bad, not gonna lie. Really good on just a few maps, just like Kuro, but just better than Kuro. He is Simba's student, and also quite a white spammer, not gonna lie, but good player. Shark, I've played many times. He's probably gonna disagree with this ranking as he is so humble and just a good guy who, yeah. Great player. Obviously his main is Heli, his T2 Heli Ice after Troll, but his DFA is also really good. And most people who have played him can testify to that. The top DFA players, they haven't really played Shark because he's never been in those type of group chats and stuff like that. But he deserved the spot. He deserves the spot in my opinion. And yeah, let's see the next tier. All right, tier 2. Here we go. These guys were really hard to differentiate, and I'm sure people will disagree with this, but I think many people can agree that these guys are similar in skills. that's for sure. Just the ranking differentiating might be different. I do have the hole at the front because this guy just doesn't fucking choke. He is so precise, so good, consistent. Him, Sinful, and Alox are more versatile than FG and Sabbath. FG and Sabbath are more DFA sweats, but the whole really good. Cobra, but also NFE, I would say. Sinful, T1 NFE, also decent at Cobra, I would say, and Wiz, just versatile top player. Alox, also very good at Cobra, but this is a DFA ranking, and this is my ranking for that matter. I have the most experience with AFG, I have the least with Sabbath, going mostly off reputation by him, but yeah, the whole very precise. Sinful can choke, man. I've seen him choke before. Like when he played Brian, yeah, there was an unfortunate DC on Temple against him, but yeah, Brian is on my tier 10. If you can't beat him, that sounded disrespectful. That wasn't meant to, but yeah, good players. All of these guys deserve this tier 2 without a doubt, in my opinion. Alox, bro, he needs to stop with the fucking excuses of, not just excuses, but trolling and not trying during games, and then blame his loss on it. I wasn't even trying. Well, you're flexing a game against a guy who doesn't try it. Like I said the same thing about Prideful earlier. Like when he played Ryan and lost 3-2, and that sounds like an intense scoreline, but it wasn't. Ryan dominated all 5 games and he just choked 2 of them. But you gotta stop doing it. If you're that good, and I know you are really good, Alox, I do know that, but why not just try and actually try and 3-0 Ryan if you're that good? Don't shy away from the challenge and meme and therefore get a free pass for a loss. I really dislike that way of playing, but when he tries, yeah, he's really good, and I've seen it before. Really, really good when he tries. Okay, here we go. Let the skull and clown emotes in the comment section begin. Some people will disagree with 1 or 2 of these, and some will ask where the hell is Robs. But this ranking, I will just remind you, is based on numerous factors. Some of the most important being my experience playing them, aka how I did in comparison, having seen them play either on stream or on YouTube, etc., and the results in series and reputation. And personally, although Simba has become far less dominant than he used to be in his prime, I just still have him at the top, just merely. He is incredibly precise and experienced and rarely chokes. And it's interesting because he doesn't do the objectively optimal plays at many occasions, but still very often manages to pull out the win. An example of this is the double trip dart start and not going for a plant, and also like the mixed eco approach and not doing what others would consider a winning position in terms of outplaying, but still always managing to pull out a win when he tries. He does like to meme in BFFs and stuff like that, and people like to screenshot it, whatever, but when he tries, he is still so good at DFA. And yeah, some of his strengths is dart targeting and ace micro, but he also has insane late game money management and micro. Personally, for me, he is the GOAT. So I do have Salmans in second, my boy Sal. I was a bit unsure of this. In my personal experience playing Simba, Sal and Ron, I'd say I got equally destroyed by all. Although I have barely played Simba and have played Ron and Sal far more times. I was also far worse when I played Sal at the start of the year. Then I was playing Ron in the early summer. Sal was definitely best at Wiz Village and the GOAT Wiz player with insane game acknowledgement and equally insane practice. You have guys like Coney and Agulio with great knowledge and not so great gameplay, but for Sal he has both theory and practice in check. This very much goes for his DFA. If I were to argue against him, I would say that he didn't play competitively enough and mainly played BFFs in privates with friends. I also think his, as I said, dominance got inflated after his retirement. Not as much as Willard's, but that's another story. But still a bit. He did lose 4-0 to Hassan in a tourney this year and some other stuff. But other than that, he is no doubt a great DFA player and this year's tier 1 ranking in my opinion. a run in third is probably going to create some backlash too. I think it's mainly going to come from people who hasn't played him or aren't friends with him. So if you don't know who Ron Zizou is, you're probably a newgen. He has dominated the game for many years now, but have taken large breaks the last year and last year and a half, to be honest. And he's been a grinder as well as a YouTuber, as well as a competitive player for years. Versatile in his strats, although DFA is his specialty. So after a long break, he came back this year, early summer, when invited to a group chat with me and some other guys. 2 days in, he had already played and beat a whole bunch of guys, including AFG, me, Dav, KG64, Skiku, Mario, and others. To my best of my memory, caught me if I'm wrong, but yeah. I had 1 win and 8 losses against him, getting brutally outplayed. But that's not as bad as going 0 and 40 against him, like Spyro did, which had many weeks of unresting against his 2 days. But he just improved after that, doing crazy stupid plays like 2500 eco, double fact round 25, and continued to playing privates just for fun in that period, which was just before summer, often high on weed and on very little sleep. And after that period of activity, he barely plays anymore to focus on PUBG, where he is also a top player. Great guy, great DFA player with insane understanding, experience, micro and money management, despite being rusty. And this concludes my DFA rankings of 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I put some time and effort into making this. I'm sure people are going to disagree. I'm sure I left out some people. Please tell me in the comment sections. But let's all be respectful, of course, and try and make this calm a bit less toxic. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.